I've been doing some thinking lately about creativity and drawing, drawing specifically, creativity generally. And we live in a culture where creativity is not always rewarded. Many people don't consider themselves to be creative. The creativity gets shut down by a lot of our learning uh, institutions, schooling, because you want to get the correct answer. You want to get the right answer. 1 + 1 = 2. Oh, I got that right. No question about that. It's measurable. So all kids know how to draw. They draw instinctively or instinctually. And Picasso had said that all children are artists. The trick is to remember how for us adults to get back there. Now, what happens with 1 + 1 = 2? Yeah, it's a correct answer, and a painting or drawing is that the correct answer? Is it possible that there is a correct answer? Well, anyone that recombines elements in a new, different way has created something artistically. Now, is it a correct answer? Well, 1 + 1 = 2, but what does strawberry plus giraffe mean? What does that equal? Well, it could be you might say it's a strawberry colored giraffe. I might think that it's a giraffe that is somehow made out of strawberries, or it could be something like, I don't know, an obscure 1960s rock group, a rock album, a musical based on an ice cream factory. I generate these things naturally. It's easy to do. It's just like a tap, a torrent. You turn it on. Then the trick becomes to be separating the ideas, hopefully qualitatively. But going back to anyone is an artist, everyone is an artist. Everyone can make a mark in life. If you are terrified of having your creativity judged and somehow it being inferior or wrong, then you will be afraid to make a mark, and you can literally go through life and your sheet of paper is blank and you did not make a mark on it. Now, you may have a very long, involved story about how and why you weren't able to do that because of things that happened to you in the distant past, what happened in school, what your parents said, what your belief systems are, and things like that. And even if you concoct that sort of backstory, essentially what you've done is you become a fiction writer, also very creative. So there's nothing wrong with that. At least, when you figure out you're a creative writer, creative thinker, then you've stepped into into the arts. So say, for example, you do put adults, into situations like a child would be in kindergarten, where you say, here's your canvas, your blank piece of paper, here's your paintbrush, go. Don't think, go. And people say, well, I'm afraid. Well, don't think about it, just go, make a mark. Well, but, and then I messed up, I made the mark wrong, or I don't know what to do. All these anxieties can come out. And basically what the mark that you did make with the trepidation and what you felt was a mistake and your unsureness, well, that drawing, that painting, the piece of paper with that mark on it is a precise, exact summation of who you were, what you experienced when you did it. It explains perfectly your process and very profound, deep things about yourself, just like any creative piece of work. Now, creative pieces of work, it could be, well, a radical example would be a serial killer or someone, what they do is they do something in a certain way, and then people come in, the forensics teams come in, and they try to look at every little detail of what the person did and try to figure out who they were, what they were like, what clues they left. And we do the same thing when we look at Picasso and Da Vinci and Rembrandt and graffiti artist or whomever. So in closing, I would say that creativity is actually humanity's saving grace. It's something that everyone does, everyone has the capacity. Obviously, in our day-to-day existences, we make choices all day long. That's what we do. We live in a duality plane full of free choice. Every time you do that, in a sense, you're adding to your life in a creative sense. So the terror and the feelings that people have negatively about art and the creation of art, specifically themselves creating art, can certainly be overcome. We may have to go back and understand the causes.